Hi guys, you're so welcome to this channel narcscon, where we deal with all things in relation to narcissists, the narcissistic personality disorder, understanding it and navigating your way forward so that you do not get involved or know how to navigate one of these personality types if you come across them in your future. I would really like to get down to the grit today in relation to the narcissist, not to pussyfoot around what a narcissist is and their childhood trauma and the fact that they don't know what they're doing. While all of that has some validity and definitely requires a certain amount of distant compassion, we do need to know what is actually going on or what actually went on in our relationship so that we have a balanced view in our healing process of our part in it, and that we are not blamed 50%, which is what often happens post a relationship with a narcissist. When you go to therapy with a therapist that doesn't understand the narcissistic personality disorder and tends to get you to look at yourself and your faults more than validating the experience that you had first, and alongside that work on a journey of self-improvement, self-discovery and joy. There is a very fine line between making this into a nice psychological category and the spirituality and devastating destruction that a narcissist can unfold on anyone that gets enmeshed with them. So I would like to take the experience with a narcissist, and I'm going to include in the middle of this famous personalities to demonstrate some of what I believe, in my opinion, is going on in that particular relationship, in order to give you a kind of a hands-on view of what that looks like. So this is harsh, this is the cold, hard truth, in my opinion, and I will try and explain it as I go along in relation to how a narcissist is viewing things, but how their narcissism is working as well. So the channel is called narcscon, and it's about the con the narcissist pulls, particularly on their intimate partner. But this happens all the time in the workplace, in families, with friends, etc., etc. The intimate relationship is probably where you will see this dynamic play out, or the narcissist behavior cycle taken from love bomb to devalue to discard and to hoover and back again to the love bomb. It is more obvious, I suppose, in this cycle. So it's a good place to go for an explanation. Please don't feel like stupid or foolish or anything negative because you were with a narcissist and didn't realize you were with a narcissist. And there are two reasons for that. One, your view and your way of living did not make you into a person who thought like a narcissist. So therefore, you would have given the benefit of the doubt and assumed that most human beings worked on within parameters of humanity. So if you weren't taught in school or in general in society that there was a personality disorder and that there were quite a percentage of people that had this personality disorder. Now, I don't just mean that, oh, they're a bit narcissistic, they love themselves, what we may have thought of before we understood what the narcissistic personality disorder was, where people throw around the word narcissist and, this is a genuine disorder. So if you didn't know about that, how could you, in all honesty, say suddenly during the relationship, personality disorder? So that's why we were on here, and that's why, if we can, please share, please spread the knowledge, that is you doing your part in maybe getting some vengeance on what happened to you, seeking justice and allowing other people to partake of this information that may well save them and that may well save lives, and that's as serious as it gets. The narcissist, when they see you, so a lot of these experts and even narcissists themselves will say, well, the narcissist isn't aware that they're a narcissist. They may very well, and they're not going to want to be aware that they're a narcissist, because their narcissism will block them from any negativity about themselves, unless they are in a totally different stratosphere, in the minority of people that are hugely intelligent and go to therapy and can step outside themselves, see their personality and accept it. And then a narcissist usually looks on the narcissistic personality disorder as an accolade. That's how their narcissism allows them to accept that they're a narcissist. But that's on a different stratosphere. So your normal, everyday, common, boring, destructive narcissist, you can tell I don't like them very much. I don't like what they do. You can tell that they can't accept that they're a narcissist, and they believe also in their false mask. And if they put that false mask out as being someone kind and generous, or someone, you know, who's altruistic or whatever they have decided that's going to work best for them to get their needs met in the community or place in this world that they find themselves, they're going to have to fully believe in that, because that's their whole makeup. That the mask, the fake mask that changes all the time, that has bits added on of your character traits, etc., has to exist in this reality that they've created for themselves. That's not true. So while they portray the false mask and believe in it, they know on the edge of their conscious and unawareness, on their unconscious self and their conscious self, they know where they stand just as much as you know where you stand in relation to your goodness or badness, or your boundaries in life, or lack of boundaries, or whatever, or your motivation when you actually go and do something, like you behave in a certain way, and you can introspect and examine it, but you know there's a knowing there of what you're doing. Even if it's subconscious, it's on the edge of your consciousness. The narcissist also has that, and I do not agree with anyone that says that they aren't aware of a thought process going on that they will disown to the public and disown when they're feeling in their mask. That's the best way I can describe it. So let's get into what's going on for the narcissist when they meet you. What is the thought processes that, let's call it the bridge of consciousness? They see this person that is displaying empathy, that maybe is attractive, maybe has things the narcissist wants, maybe lives in a luxurious location, or even just has a house if the narcissist doesn't have one at the time. Basically, you know the picture. The person is presenting as an attractive, empathic individual. The narcissist observes them, gets a lot of intel from visual input, listens. Even one sentence can tell a narcissist where this person is coming from in relation to their empathy, their what the narcissist would claim to be naivety, and that's in relation to the con artists going around, and their controllability in a way that is assessed very quickly and will be reassessed as the narcissist puts them through various tests in a love bomb stage or in the getting to know you stage, where they'll either go forward or they'll drop you and ghost you like a hot potato, you know, even a week or two after they've engaged with you. And if they do that, even though it may hurt at the time, you have escaped a lot of torture. You have, what's that saying that they say? You've dodged a bullet. That's the narcissist saying, radar, this person's not going to be easy to control. They have a lot of what I want, but no, I'll go on to someone that's going to give it to me easier. Going to give it to me easier. That's what's going on with the narcissist, if that's what's happened to you in some of your relationships. The narcissist actually looks at their target and goes, oh, we have a good one here. This is on the bridge of the conscious and the subconscious. Kind, idiot. Generous, oh yeah, give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. That's mine. I'll have some of that. Yep. A nice house. I can see myself here. I'm liking the location now. How would that be for work? Yeah, that'd be great for work, actually. You know, this could be all a show. Let's just check in and dive in a bit deeper in relation to their bank account. Wow, that looks good. You know, this person, think a lot of themselves, don't they? We'll see about that. Let's see about that. They really have a high opinion of themselves, don't they? And even though you may not have a high opinion of yourself, the narcissist is motivated, or the narcissist has concentrated most on self-adoration, self-aggrandizement, and hating anybody that would threaten that by feeling happy and joyful or presenting as happy and joyful. Does that make sense? You know, people often kind of go, well, like I was happy and I was, you know, getting on great, and the narcissist came along and they seemed to want a part of that. Then they started to resent me for it. And I'm kind of going, why? You can't be happier than the narcissist would assume that they are. The narcissist is never happy. Everything is built on jealousy, hate, paranoia. They're the kind of moods around the narcissist behavior. So if you keep going back to those things, you can understand the narcissist thought pattern that much better. It's not coming from the same place you come from. It's always trying to get the narcissist something that they want. And even though you may in the love bomb stage seem to be getting on great and the two of you seem to be really happy, the narcissist will allow that, and it's important that you're feeling that happy as you're in the love bomb stage. But the narcissist happiness isn't sharing your joy. The narcissist happiness is that they've made you happy. Therefore, they're gaining control of you and they're feeling empowered. And they're kind of going, oh, this is great. I'm so happy. This is wonderful. And the narcissist is essentially getting all their needs met. And you're pouring out your love and you're pouring out your attention and you're pouring out everything, as you know, in that stage. If I can equate it like an analogy, and no offense, little kids, but I'm taking it back to the emotional level of a very young child. Now, if that very young child has asked mom or dad or whoever they're with for, can I have that toy? And mom says, yes, of course, darling. There you go. I want chocolate too. Oh, of course. How much would you like? You get the picture. That little kid's very happy. You know, that little kid is just playing with the toy, eating the chocolate, you know, until it runs out. And then they say, Mom, I want that toy as well. And the mom says, oh, I don't know if I can do that now. I can't afford that. And the child goes, sorry, not a very good impression maybe of a toddler having a tantrum. But literally, when the narcissist gets to the devaluation stage, or when you're beginning to get exhausted and put in a few boundaries and say, hey, I have to go to work, love, you know, I can't do what you want me to do. The narcissist is going to have their and that's when it starts. In any case, I digress, just to get back to the main points I have written down here. So that's the way the narcissist sees you with a love bomb. You're going to be the giver for them, and they appear to be happy. It's not happy. It's being empowered by your giving. Now, they know that it's not going to end well for you. They have an end game and they have a game plan. They just go along for the ride, basically. And even if that ride takes 10 years, 20 years, long-term rides can turn into whatever the narcissist wants the ride to be. Generally, they're not. Generally, they're more short to medium-term relationships with narcissists. And generally, they'll change partners a lot because of their boredom level or because their partners are putting in boundaries and the narcissist is having a tantrum and literally wanting to go on to the next giver or tool in the box. Okay, so the way they set you up is to, as we know, get you under control and to groom you into, the push and the pull, where they'll give you something, they'll take it away, you'll come towards them and put out more, they'll come back giving you something but giving you less than before. And it's literally like, as we've said in so many of the podcasts, like a drug dealer giving you the drug and you not realizing it's a drug and going back for more and putting out more. For the narcissist, the price of the drug is going up and up and up as you go along. Now, another game that's being played by the narcissist is they're using your belief in them to use you as a tool to do what they want, make you a third party for their agenda. So they're literally hiring you as a hitman or a hitwoman, so that they can stay behind and not look like it's them instigating an action. But they're winding you up so much and getting you to believe in them so much and the causes that they flit from one to the other, that they use your belief in them and your wanting to do right and your belief in their causes, etc., as a tool, as a protective barrier to take an action. They're literally using you as a hammer. They hammer the hammer, but the hammer is blamed for whatever happens, and that's whatever the narcissist has wanted to happen. So if they set you up, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the Harry and Meghan dynamic. I know I get a lot of people complaining about this, but it's a great illustration for this particular manipulation as somebody being used as a tool. So the narcissist would basically, if they've set you up to go on and speak on a cause or do something, they'll claim your accolades. Like they will be there for, if it happens that you have success out of what they've set you up to do, they'll be there to claim the accolades or to claim whatever you have. But they'll also set you up to really be vulnerable, to open yourself up to dangerous situations, to oversharing with people, to paint you into a corner, basically. And they will distance themselves when you get criticism for doing that, or you get flack back from doing that. And one thing that you may realize or have come across in your experience is how the narcissist will get their new supply, their new partner, to berate you or to berate their old partner. The narcissist will have filled the new partner up with dreadful stories about you and what you've done to them. And then when you come to the front door or send a message looking for what's going on, with the narcissist, looking for closure, you're accused of stalking or whatever, and the new supply will stand between you and the narcissist and give you a right telling off. Totally with the wrong information. And they will come to discover that someday when the narcissist does exactly the same to them. But that's an example of how the narcissist will totally disrespect you enough to use you for their gain. And then they sit back looking like the innocent one, and they can do that with the law as well. They can do it in any situation, so many situations. And in order to give you a bit of, I suppose, sharing a bit of this behavior in the worldwide arena, if you look at, and this is my opinion, it's just an opinion, but it is based on a lot of experience and knowledge. In my opinion, Meghan Markle, her behavior is that of someone who has narcissistic personality disorder and beyond and worse. Her partner, Harry, Prince Harry, is not a narcissist, but he has really been, his narcissistic traits have really been nurtured in this relationship and encouraged in this relationship. And he is literally being used and abused and set up for a very big downfall that is going to come someday. Now, this narcissist distances herself from any flack that Harry is going to get or is getting at the moment. And this is particularly evident in the fact that she would have encouraged him and used him, like writing a book or going for that Oprah interview, to speak against his family of origin, the royal family. He was used as a tool, first of all as an accomplice, and then secondly as a tool to write his book, to bring them in money from the book, but also to slap the face of the royal family, because the royal family would not kowtow to her coming in and taking control of the whole situation and doing whatever she wanted in this age-old institution. And that's as simple as I can put it. Now, he's been used and opened up all of his vulnerabilities in total belief. Well, one, he's getting a gripe out that he would have had against his family, and who doesn't have some gripe against their family or some friend or some workplace? Narcissists will push on that point and will encourage you to concentrate wholly and fully on that in a destructive way, not in a, put it in its box and make progress with your life, forgive, have compassion, whatever you need to do. Now, the narcissist will open that box up for you and will make it your whole reason and being. And the target of a narcissist, in all blindfoldedness, goes into that believing that they're going to solve a problem, heal a wound, get justice, bring things to the surface, show the truth. And in doing so, they make themselves really vulnerable, just as this guy has done, Prince Harry. And I'm not letting him off the hook either. What he's done to his family is heinous. I'm just saying a narcissist will use their target to carry out their agenda and then hide behind the target saying, he really shouldn't have done that, it was nothing to do with me, that's all him. And they go on and on with various other ways of using the person as a tool while really hating them and resenting them. And in particular, a recent interview with Meghan and Harry, I do remember catching a few very hateful looks from her as he got very enthusiastic. And, you nearly feel sorry for the guy, except that he's done such bad things. He was so enthusiastic about helping young people, who may be in trouble. And he kind of took the floor and the attention was on him. And a narcissist at that point would be thinking, you fool, you idiot, you really believe all this crap. And, and how dare you try and upstage me? That is what is going on in the narcissist's head. And as the person is doing this, even though the narcissist is using them, they're disrespecting them more and more and more, and will eventually wash their hands clean of that person and say, this has nothing to do with me. This is not me. This is all this person's fault. And the end game comes into play. The narcissist is able to walk away, one, putting that person down and damaging and destroying them even more and getting revenge on that person for being stupid enough to do what the narcissist wanted them to do, for being stupid enough to love them so much that they totally believed in the narcissist. The narcissist, because they actually don't love themselves, because on the line of conscious and subconscious, they think that they're crap, but their narcissism is protecting that from coming into their conscious. So if you have gone to the ends of the earth for a narcissist, and you've put yourself out there in a vulnerable position where you could be destroyed, the narcissist has zero respect for you. Because if they had respect for you, they'd have to look at themselves, they'd have to introspect, they'd have to be able to love, they'd have to be able to understand that there's a different way of living as a human being. So they will use you as a tool, and then they will disown you, and they will disown you with a veracity that is pretty unbelievable. They will go on to the next person. They will vindicate and justify themselves by saying, you really weren't and aren't all that, are you? You really weren't. I gave you everything I could possibly give you. This is the narcissist. And yet you still didn't have what it takes to make it in this world. This is the line of the conscious and the subconscious. I know what I'm doing. I am so far above you and so superior to you. And they will have gone off with a lot of the goodies. They will definitely have done a severe amount of damage to a person who allowed themselves, through all honesty and good intention, to be brought so close to the narcissist that they would have done anything for the narcissist. And some people will even tell me in coaching, they would have given up everything, and I can't say it here on YouTube, but they would have given everything to the narcissist at one point, that they loved them so much. The end game of a narcissist, guys, that is the end game. That's what's going on between the consciousness and the subconscious. If someone tells you that the narcissist does not know what they're doing, at a point where they know who they are, at that pinpoint that you know who you are, in essence, it's not often easy to access it. But you do know when you're making a decision about something that's important, you do know it's you making the decision. Does that make sense? That it's actually the essence of you making the decision. And I will defy anyone, narcissism or not, to tell me that the narcissist does not know at that point when they're making a decision that this decision is right for me. This decision is good for me. And this decision is this decision I want to make, and they know where they're making it from. Now, once they've made the decision, they may flower it up and paint it up as the beautiful mask that it is and justify it using the mask. But by hell, they know what they're doing. Over and out from us for today. Please look after yourselves. This is a difficult thing to go through, but it is going to be very rewarding if you're on that journey. And don't take any crap from anyone. Your experience was your experience. It's a very difficult experience to go through. But I believe in calling a spade and then working from there. Then you can call your own spade your spade, see what you can do to improve your life or improve yourself. But at least you go forward with an awareness of the truth. Bye for now.